Mortgage delinquencies are up, not hypothetically, not in theory, they're just up. And that matters because this is how housing breaks in real life, in real time. Not with a headline crash, but with a quiet monthly payment that stops being manageable. Now, here's the thing. Lower rates don't save you if your payment is still climbing. That's not an opinion, that's just math. And a lot of people are celebrating rate relief right now like it's a rescue boat. But if your household budget is already underwater, a slightly cheaper paddle doesn't change the ocean. It just delays the moment you swallow water. And before anyone jumps in the comments with, hey, well, people should have budgeted. I mean, yeah, there's a point to that. Yes, but personal responsibility certainly does exist, but so does something else. A system that keeps adding hidden charges after you've already signed, and then act surprised when the first missed payment shows up. That's also a reality. So let's talk about what's being reported. Early stage mortgage delinquencies rising roughly 31% year over year in some tracking. Now, that's not the end of the world, but it is a stress signal. And stress signals are how collapses get built, because nobody goes from fine to foreclosure overnight. It starts with one payment you can't make on time. Then you get hit with a late fee. Then you're trying to catch up the next month while next month's bill is still full price. And that is the trap. It's like missing one credit card payment, then discovering the interest rate spiked. The minimum payment jumped. And now every month is just you trying not to drown. And that's the most dangerous part. You still tell yourself, I can fix it next month, because you have to believe that. That's why this feels like 2008 to a lot of people. Not because I'm claiming 2008 style crash. I'm not. I'm saying it has the same feeling at the ground level. And the feeling of something slipping quietly while the official story says everything is fine. That's the problem here. Now, let me say the quiet part out loud, because most homeowners don't miss a payment because they randomly got lazy. They miss because something changed. Maybe hours got cut. Maybe a kid got sick, or a car ended up dying, or groceries doubled, insurance jumped, taxes moved. I mean, you could name a number of things. A surprise bill, maybe. And the mortgage payment didn't feel fixed anymore, did it? So the broken part today isn't just interest rates. The broken part is the payment becoming unstable at some point. That's the line that's getting crossed right now. Because your mortgage became a subscription with surprise fees. You thought you were signing up for one number, but the system keeps adding on. Like a streaming service that suddenly charges you extra for HD, extra for devices, extra for premium support, extra for regional sports. And now your $79 plan is $142, and you didn't even know how it happened. That's housing for a lot of people right now. And if you're in an HOA, I mean, you already know what I mean, because an HOA is basically a monthly bill with power to fine you just for existing. You don't own a home inside HOA. You own a responsibility. You own a permission slip. You own a contract where somebody else can raise your costs. And you get to vote the same way people vote on airline fees, by screaming into the sky and paying anyway, because you have to. Now, let me stay in this lane for a moment, because this episode isn't HOAs are evil. That's another episode. But this episode is about payment instability and why early delinquencies rising while people celebrate lower rates is the exact kind of contradiction you should not ignore. Because a rate dip and you can still be losing. A rate can dip and you can still be losing. Why? Because the mortgage payment isn't only principal and interest. It's taxes, insurance, escrow, HOA, utilities, maintenance, repairs, and a laundry list of a bunch of other stuff, right? And a lot of these costs are not a one-time thing. They end up compounding. And compounding is ruthless. Compounding is how a small crack becomes a structural failure. And here's the reality check for all of us. Rates are easing. They are talking about a headline number. But when your insurance goes up 30, 50, 100%, you don't get the headline. You get an email. When your property tax resets higher, you don't get a CNN alert. You just get a letter. And when your escrow recalculates, you don't get an economist explaining it to you. You just get a new payment amount. And that new payment amount doesn't care about your optimism. And that's why people in comments nowadays are just furious, because they are not arguing ideology. They're just arguing for basic survival. I heard one person say, never buy an HOA. I heard another person say, that's impossible. Almost every new build has one. And then another says, not where I live. But all of them are pointing at the same truth, that the housing market isn't one market. It's a patchwork of traps. Different state, different tax schedule, different HOA chaos, different insurances, different job wages, same outcome, same payment pressure. And here's the razor line to this, right? Because you don't lose your house when you're broke. You lose it when your margins disappear. And that's the whole game. Not your income, but your margin itself. Because margin is what absorbs stress. Margin is what turns an emergency into an inconvenience. No margin means a flat tire becomes a financial event. No margin means one missed payment becomes a spiral. So when early delinquencies tick up, what it's really saying is this: more people are living with no margin. That's why this matters, even if the overall percentage sounds small. Now, some people will say 40,000 doesn't mean anything compared to 140 million homes. Okay, but that's also like saying only a few smoke alarms are going off. Yeah, that's true, but you don't ignore smoke alarms by the whole city isn't on fire yet. You treat it like an early signal. Now, I want to address two types of viewers. Type 1 says this is all a scam. Banks and governments are the same. Person 2 might say people live beyond their means and this is on them. But here's a way both can partially be true. Because people do overspend and systems do tighten the screws. But if you want to survive in this market, you can't live in blame. You have to live in leverage.